Good morning. I hope everybody is doing well this morning and trying to be as productive as possible given our situations. I know everybody is online today doing live streaming, whether my family is teaching or attending classes online. We are kind of all engaged in our new normal, and it's kind of exciting. Things are going well. I wanted to share some information today. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings, both from some clients of mine and also from just people in general, that the real estate market has crashed here in Raleigh, due to the COVID-19 situation, and people believe that and are maybe making decisions based upon that. And I wanted to use some real data to show you what's actually going on so you can see what the market is really doing in Raleigh. I think it's actually kind of remarkable. So I'm going to switch over to desktop view here so you can see my desktop. And so what we're looking at right here, this is the Triangle MLS interface, and this is where I go to collect data to learn what's going on in the market. And so I'm running a couple of reports so we can look at them. And right here, I'm running a report for Cary for everything that's active and contingent since March 13th, 2020. That is the date that Wake County closed schools and due to COVID-19, and I think the time when people started to get really anxious and concerned about what was going on. So this tells us that there's 215 properties that are on the market during this time since March 13th. And so I ran a report. This is called a CMA summary, or market analysis summary, and it can tell us some information about what's happening with these listings. First of all, we can see that 121 properties right now are active, are listed on the market, and they have not received any have not gone under contract. They might have received an offer or two, but haven't actually accepted an offer. We can see that the median days on the market for those properties is 10, and the average days on the market is 15. So and you see there's a maximum 239. That's an outlier. That's somebody that listed their house last year and probably didn't get it ready or listed it too high or something like that, and so it's not selling. But most of these you'll see are, just a few days on the market. So this is all new listings pretty much since the COVID-19 thing became a big issue in this area, since we started seeing it here. Then underneath that, we've got pending transactions, and these are all properties that have gone under contract since that time. And we see that we have 94 properties that have gone under contract since schools were closed for COVID-19. We can also see right here, this number 4, that tells us that the median days on the market is 4 days. And the average days on the market is 14 for properties that have gone under contract. So we can see that all these properties are they're moving really quickly. I would expect a lot of these, with these 0, 1, and 2 days on the market, I would expect to see some competitive offers with those, some bidding wars. And so we see that those kinds of things are probably still going on in our market. But now I want to compare this to some data from last year. So this is roughly the same time period. This is last year. So I'll show you the criteria I use. These are properties that closed between March 25th and April 25th, 2019. And I did it like that because we can only look at what was closed at that time. We can't look at what was active. So these are properties that probably went active about the time that these properties in 2020 did, the data that we're comparing it to. So in that CMA summary, we can see that the median days on the market is 4. So that's the same as what we're seeing right now. It's taking most properties about 4 days to get under contract. And we can see that the average days on the market is 25 last year. So things are actually selling on average much faster in this last 3-week period or 2-week period, 2.5-week period, than last year at the same time. And I think a couple things are going on here. First of all, you can see that we have fewer listings, 215 compared to 261, okay? And there may have been more listed here that didn't actually sell, but in general, we can definitely see that the number of listings is much lower than we saw last year. So what I think is happening is that I know a lot of sellers are dropping out of the market because they don't feel that it's safe to have buyers walking through their home. And we already have a strong seller's market. So in what was already a strong seller's market, a lot of sellers decided to step back and not list their homes. Those are going to be sellers who did not have to sell. They weren't being transferred for a job. They didn't have any major issues that were forcing them to sell right now. They were just maybe moving up into a bigger house or downsizing or something like that. And they've decided they can wait to do that. The sellers that are left are sellers that they really need to move. They really don't have a choice but to move. The same thing is happening with the buyers. I know I've lost quite a few buyers that have said, we're going to wait until summertime. We're going to see how this thing plays out. And they're not really buying right now. So what we're left with is buyers and sellers who are really, really motivated to buy and sell, both of them. And I think that is why we are still seeing a very competitive market in the Raleigh area. So I think it's still, and of course, this is all what's happened in the last 3 weeks. We don't know if this is going to hold true for next month. Some laws could be passed that tell us we're not even allowed to buy and sell. But for right now, this is the way the data looks, and it still looks like a very strong market. Fewer listings for sure. I mean, I personally, I don't think buyers and sellers are really taking the hit on this. The people that are taking the hit are the agents. Our income has gone down. This is our busiest time of the year, and everybody's lost some transactions here during what's normally our peak season. I think that'll come back personally. I'm optimistic that I'm going to be really busy this summer as opposed to spring, and that's okay. But I don't think buyers and sellers are really taking a hit. It's perfectly reasonable not to want to buy or sell right now because there's a lot of ambiguity. Even just how the transactions are going to happen, there's a lot of ambiguity. And with all the germs, I mean, if you don't need to buy and sell, it's an extra risk that you're taking on with, the social distancing if you're doing that. So definitely do what you feel is best. But if you need to sell or if you need to buy, just understand that the market is still running and things are still working as they have been. And it's still a good real estate market. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Follow my page if you want to see more updates like this. And I hope you all have a great day.